Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Hard Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. It's 11 minutes gone past 3 p.m. and the show is officially started 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. That makes, and today's Thursday. That means we've got one more edition for this week, and that's tomorrow, my favorite edition of the show, Fridays that is. Well, at about 7 we wrap it up. Sports Gang will be in for extra time. I hope that you've had a good Thursday so far and things are looking up. And things are looking up. Speaking of things looking up, things are working out. Things are looking up. We are making progress as a nation. We're making progress as a people. We've got the National Assembly, Senate precisely, to agree to the transmission of results electronically. It's a win for the people. It is a win. It doesn't matter what anybody says about that. It is a win. And that's the fact. Because what it does is, it reduces to a great degree human interruptions or human influence as far as the electoral process is concerned. And the less human interference or influence you have with the process, the more transparent and credible the process becomes. That's how it works. It's a fact. It's logical. It's sensible. It makes sense. All right, so what you need to do right now, because have you observed? Some weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, there was a narrative being spewed by certain persons that, oh, I'm not going to vote, we're not going to vote, what's the point of voting, votes don't count, unless these people give us credible system, unless they allow for electronic transmission of results, unless for that, we will not vote. No count, vote no count, I said that. Okay. We thought it wasn't going to happen, especially with the shenanigans in the National Assembly when they passed amendments to the Electoral Act. Now there's been another amendment. We now have electronic transmission of results. And by the way, even electronic voting can be decided upon by INEC as well when INEC feels that they're ready. I don't know if that's going to happen 2023, maybe unlikely, but INEC can determine at any time, possibly post 2023, that we're going to have electronic voting as well. And the same people who just some weeks or months ago were saying, no cards, no cards, no voting, no cards. I said they give, if only they will give us electronic, if only they will give us. Now we have electronic transfer of results. What's your hands? These politicians, they will manipulate the process. These people, they will see all these things in America. America is not working here. They will see, they will manipulate. You can't. Okay. We can't. We can't. It has always canted, actually. You just didn't know. And once again, the politicians, the honorables and the excellencies, they know that it can't. They know it has always canted. And that's the reason every election year they start, what do they call them? Empowerment programs. Dishing out sewing machines, dishing out generators for barbing salons, carrying naked babies in rural areas, frying akara along the road, stopping in a convoy of vehicles to buy bole and fish along the road, and going to the market with their wives to buy ugu and frozen fish. The only reason they do that, and when elections are over, if you down the numbers, it is switched off or the number is infinitely not available. The reason they do that post-elections is because they know your votes can't. It can't. It's always canted. Either you, for some godforsaken reason, could not figure it out, or the persons who keep yelling it doesn't can't are actually minions of these honorables and excellencies deployed as a weapon of mass destruction, weaponized to delude you into believing the lie that your vote doesn't count. But it can't. It does count, actually. It can't. And electronic transfer of results is going to make your vote count even more than ever before. And that's why they're going to change their tactics this time around. They're going to become true Democrats. I think I talked about this a couple of days ago. It's going to happen. They're going to become true Democrats now, preaching peace and singing one love. We are together, living in the world. Yeah, and stuff like that. So it can't. The vote can't. Anyways, welcome once again. We got more side comments coming up on the show today. Random thoughts of mine on some random issues or stories, which will not be discussed now. And after that, got a rant coming up. Absolutely, something in my mind. One particular issue. I'll get your take on that till 4 p.m. Now, 4 o'clock, we've got the business news coming up. Let's see, what do we have after that? Yeah, world-class presidential clinic. Yeah, world-class. You know how for so long, for many years, the honorables and the excellencies have been giving you world-class hospitals that they can't go to. They have a slight headache, they rush overseas. They have ear problems, they rush overseas. In spite of all the world-class health centers that they have been building up and down all over the place. Now, guess what? It appears that Assault Villa, yeah, the presidency is about to get a world-class clinic as well. Interesting stuff, really. Fascinating, really. Story cuts to Premium Times. Buhari's big budget for president's new medical unit dwarfs project funding for 14 teaching hospitals. Yeah. Now, President Buhari plans to pump over 20 billion naira into the construction of a new presidential wing at the State House Clinic, which he rarely uses, an amount that far outstrips allocations for new and ongoing projects in 14 federal teaching hospitals, and analysis of the 2022 budget shows. The president has asked the National Assembly to approve 21.9 billion naira for the construction of a presidential wing at the State House Medical Center in 2022. And the project has already received 1.4 billion naira since 2020, meaning by next year it would have received 23.3 billion naira in total. Yeah. And by the way, this amount that's been budgeted for this world-class presidential clinic, the amount is more than the entire allocation for all of the 14 federal teaching hospitals that we have in Nigeria. And by the way, in case you're wondering what teaching hospitals are or where they are exactly, I'm talking about Unilag Teaching Hospital, which is called LUTH. That's the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. We've got ABU Teaching Hospital, University College Hospital Ibadan, UCI, UNN Teaching Hospital. By the way, Unilag got 1.69 billion, ABU 2.38 billion, UCI Ibadan got 1.49 billion, UNN got 1.38 billion, Uniben Teaching Hospital got 1.35 billion, OAU got 1.35 billion, Uni-Ilorin Teaching Hospital got 982 million, Unijos 908 million, University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, UPTH got 1.14 billion, Unimade got 986 million, Danfodio got 987 million, Aminu Kano got 2.49 billion, Uni Abuja got 1.90 billion, Atbu got 947 million. But all of this combined is not up to what the new clinic at the State House is going to get in this particular budget, in this proposed budget, that is. I'd like to get your take on that in the 4 o'clock hour, what to make of this development. Is the president's clinic more deserving than all other teaching hospitals combined? That comes up in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news. Taking us to 5:05, we got the news update coming up. And yes, APC state congresses are here. Finally, it's I think day after tomorrow. I think it's Saturday. Yeah. APC in make or break state congress. You can find that story in the Nigerian Tribune. Details of that is. But a bit of it right now, as members of the ruling APC step out on Saturday for its state congresses, the likely preoccupation will be how will be how to achieve relative peace and stability towards retaining power in 2023. The ruling party has embattled or battled simmering internal conflict across board, necessitating a series of troubleshooting interventions, including the setting up of reconciliation committees. We'll look at this, discuss this matter in the 5 o'clock hour. Is the APC state congress going to make or break the party? And it's not just at the federal level. They've got issues at the federal level. There are issues in the APC in many different parts of the country. In Lagos, they've got issues. In Ekiti, they've got issues. In Niger, Ogun, in Rivers. Of course, in Rivers, they've got issues. Everybody knows that. In Sokoto, in Kwara, in Matu, Zamfara, Akwa Ibom. We'll explore some of these situations and problems they have in the 5 o'clock hour. But I'll be having a guest for that conversation. Honorable Golden Choma will be my guest, former member of the River State House of Assembly, I do believe, will join me for that conversation in the 5 o'clock hour. Is the state APC or the APC state congresses going to make or break the party, especially here in River State? Join us for that by in the 5 o'clock hour after the news update. Headlines 5:30, major news at 6 p.m. and open season is up after that. If you miss out on any matter discussed on the show today, I'll take your thoughts during that period till about 7 o'clock when we wrap it up, and the sports can come in for extra time. So pretty much that's it. I don't think I've missed out anything right now. Let's see. Anything for today's side comments? Side comments, random stories, random thoughts, not to be discussed now once again. Some residents of Port Harcourt are planning activities to mark the one-year anniversary of the Port Harcourt EndSARS protest next week. The program of activities widely shared on social media with the hashtag EndSARS 1 year on. They plan to hold prayers for victims of police brutality in different churches this Sunday. A live session with victims of police brutality is planned for Tuesday, with a candlelight procession on Wednesday. And as you may know, the Port Harcourt EndSARS protest marked 1 year yesterday, with some residents still calling for a total reform of the police to end harassment and brutality. And some of them spoke to our correspondent and insist that police brutality has persisted. Let's hear what these persons, very likely River State, Port Harcourt residents, had to say about CP Eboka Friday's children or his boys.
Nothing really has changed. The harassment from the uniform guys is still on the rise. The protest was only an eye-opening that, of a truth, you don't choke us for neck. But what can we do as a people? Government cares less about its populace.
I can't see that anything stopped as per the harassment. I'll just say that the rate at which violent videos surface the internet reduced. If we woke up to like 10 videos every day after the protest, we can actually say that we now wake up to like 1.
Making your hair as a guy, you'll be arrested back then. But now it has really reduced. In Port Harcourt, they said they have reformed the team, but can't actually reform the mentality of people just like that. There has to be drastic change.
CPA Booker Friday was a drastic change, because even though we had the e-crack team scrapped, there are still some crackheads wearing police uniforms all over the place, stationed, waiting for. You know how the Bible said that the devil goeth about. Is it to what did he say again? The devil as a roaring lion goeth about something like that. Well, I'm trying to remember the last part of that. Let's do a quick Google search. The devil as a roaring lion walketh about let's see, what's seeking whom he may devour. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Something about steal, kill, and destroy, or something like that. That's the one I'm looking for. Can someone help me with that scripture? Where is that one? Where are my Bible students? My religious folks. Where are you at? There's something in the scripture in the Bible that talks about, I think it's the devil, something about steal, kill, destroy, or something like that. Can someone help me out, please? The WhatsApp number is 0809 0306416. That's 0809 0306416. That's what I'm looking for. Is it John chapter 10 verse 10? Is it John 10:10? Is that, because that's what I'm getting right now. Is that the one I'm looking for? Someone says use Google Dio. Okay, all right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so John chapter 10 verse 10. Let's see. John 10 verse 10. Okay, let's see. Yes, yes. Yeah. Okay, this is the one. This is the one. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and they might have it more abundantly. Thank you very much. Now, when I ask this question, sometimes I could easily do a search over here, but I want for you to do the search. That's the whole essence. Sometimes, if not all the time, actually. So, it almost seems like we have some recalcitrant, criminal-minded police officers who just go about like this thief, who just go about seeking to steal, to kill, and destroy. It almost seems that way. I mean, be it far from me to say that our gallant officers do anything like that, but it almost seems that way. It almost seems that way. So, CBA Booker Friday, the people have said it, that some of your boys are still attacking people, are still extorting people, exploiting people, torturing people, robbing them. Reports say sometimes maybe even killing them. We've had such cases. Let's not forget Blood Sugar in a Hurry. Let's not forget, what's his name again? The artist, the singer. He had a nickname. He had a certain nickname. With that one. The artist that was killed recently, a singer, a musician, quite recently, he had a nickname. I think started with S or something like that. Slick. Thank you very much. Brilliant, folks. Slick. We can't forget Slick also. We can't forget the Uniport student who was driving, and our gallant officer came and his friend or so to an ATM to withdraw money until tomorrow or so, or maybe they have finally got it today. The police is still waiting for the account statement. This account statement must have taken how long now? So CPA Booker Friday, we're still waiting for the reforms that you promised, for the result of the matching orders that you gave when you came into office, like all your predecessors also gave matching orders. So we're still waiting. And by the way, don't for once ever think that NSAS was a waste of time, or NSAS accomplished nothing. No, it didn't. No, don't feel that way. Sometimes the results of actions are not seen immediately. The results of actions, whether positive results or negative results, are not seen immediately. For example, the Bible says the wages of sin is death. Now, it doesn't mean that if you commit a sin right now, you're going to die eventually. Maybe you're going to die in some way in some future to come. That's how it works. So even though the wages of sin is death, there is reward for good doing also. And the reward may also not come immediately. But something did happen. Something did happen. I mean, don't mind what happened eventually. The sad part about the protest, what followed, how some persons, hoodlums, criminals, some say they were sponsored by unknown honorables, and how it was marred, by looting and arson and robbery and other kinds of sins. But a message was sent. The people spoke with one voice and said, "We've had enough. We've had enough." Don't ever get tired of doing something. Don't ever get tired of doing something. There are going to be naysayers who will say, "There's nothing can do, there's nothing can do that." Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Okay, I think that's it for today's side comments. I suppose I'll go for... Was there anything else that caught my attention? Let's see. I have to move on right now, really. So I think I'll move on. Okay, wait. Maybe just this one. The PDP and possibly some other parties, possibly. The PDP said the Senate's move to have direct primaries will increase the cost of nomination procedures for political parties. A statement by the party spokesperson Kola Lobodinyo described the decision of the Senate as retrogressive, capable of wiping off all the gains achieved in Nigeria's electoral practice since 1999. And I've heard some people are concerned about that, and the politicians are kicking against direct primaries. Now, whatever happens with this, and I've said this before, maybe yesterday, why are you concerned as to what candidate the parties bring forward? Why is that your headache? And I believe that the people who are suffering a migraine due to this matter are mostly the politicians themselves or their minions. They're the ones who are concerned about this. Else, why should I be concerned as a Nigerian, as a citizen, what candidate any party puts forward? Because what you should be concerned about is the quality of the candidates that all the parties put forward. If you don't like Party A or Party B or Party C's candidate, look at Party W's candidate. If that person meets your criteria, then vote for the person. That's what that matters. That's all that matters. Vote the right candidate, irrespective of what party they seem or might be affiliated with. All right, so lastly for some comments, I'll go for a break. When I return, today's round comes on. Please stay with us.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me, I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money? You think
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria.
92.3.
We are Nigeria Info.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
With good hygiene practice, be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from Nigeria Info.
We are Info, in the heart of Nigeria.
92.3.
We are Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dio.
Welcome back. It is Hard Fact to 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio, and I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something in my mind. I'll be expressing some thoughts on it, and you're very welcome to express your thoughts and mine all the way till 4 p.m. Now, the essence of today's rant, as with most, if not every other rant, is simply to serve as a reminder. It's another reminder, another reminder. That's what they all are, by the way. Simply reminders to every single one of us as to how honorables and excellencies in Nigeria are prone to comporting themselves, or reminders as to other scenes that we are very much conversant with, But sometimes, maybe due to the cares of life, maybe because of the price of gari or tomatoes in the market, we tend to forget. We tend to forget, and we are overwhelmed by some of these happenings, and we simply move on, as we say. We simply move on. But the fact of the matter is, we cannot afford to keep on moving on. We can't afford to keep on moving on. We have to keep reminding ourselves as to our reality, because the moment we forget our reality, delusion sets in. That's what's going to happen. Delusions of grandeur. We believe that everything is fine, things are okay, and everything is working out fine, and then we end up collecting t-shirts and face caps again and hailing that honorable because he has structure and it's on ground, and our lives become even worse off for it. We can't afford that. It's a very dangerous thing if we allow for that to keep on happening. Very dangerous indeed. And we cannot afford to let that keep on happening. As a matter of fact, we can't afford that, because lives are literally at stake here. Lives are literally at stake. Now, I don't know if you saw the story earlier on. You probably did, and I hope you did. I hope you came across it. Well, just about every daily is running some version or the other of the story, and I made a humongous blunder. I made a huge blunder earlier on. There is a video which I came across, which I was supposed to convert to audio, but I for some reason I forgot that, so I apologize profusely for not doing that, but I will find a way around it. I'll find a way around it. But that's a story from the Premium Times. Nigeria's women basketball team, the Tigers, threatened to boycott World Cup qualifiers. Now here's the story. The Nigerian women's basketball team, the Tigers, have apparently been playing with deep hurt against the Nigeria Basketball Federation for some time. Fresh from the historic feat of winning 3 consecutive FIBA Afro-Basket titles, the Tigers players have now broken their silence. As part of their grievances, the basketballers say they are being owed allowances and bonuses. In a video posted on a microblogging site, the women outlined the injustices that have been allegedly perpetrated on them by the outgoing of the app led by Musida. Now, women who were about to boycott the upcoming World Cup qualifiers have listed the conditions that would make them rescind their threats. They ask for the payment of the backlog of their bonuses and allowances, an improved welfare package, and to be honored by the Nigerian presidency for doing the country proud. The ladies wonder why the historic feat of winning 3 straight African titles has not warranted being invited to Aso Rock, even if it's only for the ceremonial presidential handshake. Well, somebody didn't tell these ladies that for you to get a presidential handshake these days, allegedly, not certainly, but allegedly, you may need to defect to the APC first. They didn't get the memo. Reportedly, allegedly, that's what someone told me. Because these days, to get a presidential handshake, just defect to the APC. And by the way, for those who are willing to defect to the APC, just gather yourselves. There will be a bus waiting at Rumoko roundabout. It leaves 5 a.m. tomorrow morning for Abuja, allegedly, for those who would like to get a presidential handshake. The bus leaving Rumoko roundabout by 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, allegedly. Let's hear some of what these ladies had to say. And this is where I goofed actually. I should have converted this to audio, but I didn't. But let's see if I can work out something here. That's it.
First, we want to say thank you to the Nigerian Embassy in Cameroon for celebrating us. We appreciate you more than you know. Other than that, we do not feel appreciated or celebrated after achieving this historical feat. In 2017, we won the Afro-Basket Championship, and 3 days later, we were presented to the Father of Nations, Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, and his entire cabinet by the former ministry, Honorable Solomon Dalong, as customary with handshake. We have defended our championship and brought back the cup in 2019 and 2021, which is historical, but still, no invitation has been extended to the team to visit Aso Rock or a presidential handshake. Why?
President of MBBF, Musa Kita, said that the Federation isn't owing any players, officials, or vendors. This is far from the truth. The last time we checked, Our allowances, stipends, bonuses, training grants, and donations made by banks for players, officials, and volunteers still have not been paid.
We are owed $73,118 from the NBBF, $24,000 from the Ministry for the Tokyo Grant, and $100,000 from donations from 3 banks in Nigeria. Ever since our general manager and team manager resigned, we feel like we're being marginalized. Our senior leadership, like the former president, never really shows up for camps or competitions to boost our morale. And when we have significant concerns and issues that needs to be addressed, when he does show up, we get vague answers, as if our concerns are important to him. But when we win, they magically show up for photo ops and celebrations to use for political gain. Musakita was not in Cameroon, but somehow he showed up to Abuja to take pictures and to hoist a trophy, again, for political gain. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics was full of a bunch of distractions for all of us. We didn't know the final roster until the day before the flight. So our first team practice was in Tokyo days before the first game. There's a lot of things that could have been handled differently to increase our chances of success. Starting with our travel, there was a 36-hour flight. Our team gear and uniforms, making sure they're of standard. 2 practices a day, not being able to access medical staff at certain points during the Olympics, as well as gift exchange between teams. Why hasn't the team been to Nigeria since 2019? We're wondering the same thing. As the Tigers players, we want to go back to Nigeria. We don't understand why we have not been to the country for the last 2 years for camp or for any celebration. It's customary that the team is to go home for major competitions so that we can have morale. It's also important that we inspire the next generation to follow their dreams. Every player that has been a D-Tigress since 2017 has their own thoughts and feelings about the dissolved NBBF board and coaching staff over the course of the time. It is evident that our voices have not been heard, our requests for little things have been ignored, on top of not being celebrated or recognized as much as a 3 times back-to-back African Cup of Nations champion deserves.
Our demands: all money owed to players, officials, and vendors, adequate travel to competitions, and a team manager for all team functions. If these demands are not met, with all due respect to the presidency, the NBBF, and the ministry, all D Tigers players will not be reporting to the FIBA World Cup tournament in 2022 in February. We are one united voice.
I stand.
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 That's it. By the way, I hope the audio was clear enough. Sorry about that. I had to do some improvising here in the studio. At least a thunderous applause for those ladies. At least they stand for something, unlike some of those who call Nigeria Info, who don't stand for anything. However, if you're shocked, if you're flabbergasted about this situation, well, don't be. You needn't be shocked, because this is the same country or the same sports ministry where a certain sports minister at one time said publicly that he did not expect a Nigerian contingent to a tournament to win. And that's why some things were not put in place, because he did not expect them to win. This is the same sports ministry where one of our athletes at the last Olympics was seen washing his sports kit. This is the same sports ministry. The Paralympic Games, I think, some of the athletes who represented the country were given phones by some of the sponsors, or by one of the sponsors, and the phones were collected from them. This is the same. I mean, did I go on? There's a very, very long history here, but I don't intend to spoil your afternoon, so I would not go ahead to do that. The point is this, that there is a long history of reckless display. There is a long history of abject abandonment. There is a long history of irresponsibility here. It's not new. There's nothing shocking. And by the way, the sports ministry has responded to this video, saying that nothing has happened to their money. Quote, intact in the monies are intact in the Nigeria Basketball Federation's official domiciliary account, domiciled with the Central Bank of Nigeria, and that they've not disbursed the money because members of D Tigers are yet to provide their account numbers so that the processing of payments can be done one-off as requested by the CBN. What does D-Tigers account numbers have to do with members of D-Tigers? Why can't you pay D-Tigers? If the guys in D-Tigers don't need the money, maybe some of them play in the NBA, and if you play in the NBA, how much does the NBBF or Nigerian Sports Ministry want to give you? Seriously. So if they don't need it, does it mean the ladies who play for D-Tigers should not get their own money? So that explanation is very suspect, by the way, if you ask me. But the point is this. What the point to this rant is this. Don't expect Nigerian leaders, our honorables and excellencies, to change anytime soon. Nigerian leaders do not change. They don't change. They evolve. They change their tactics. They change their approach. But their person, who they are, what they stand for, they do not change. If you check, it's the same thing over the years, whether it's the current minister or the one before him or the one before him. The inconsistencies are consistent. They do not change. And it's very unfortunate indeed. If Nigerians want to change the narrative, you need to understand what to do. Ask fundamental questions here. We're expecting somebody who is dying people's money to suddenly become a true Democrat tomorrow and stop dying people's money. It's unlikely going to happen. Taking too much time already. And that's a wrap on today's round. Thanks for listening. I hope you were on board. Let's get your take. Lines are open. Can take a few, I suppose. On 0817-923-0002 or 0003 or 0007. We're live on facebook.com/Nigerian for PH. WhatsApp is on 0809-030-6416. Please keep it brief and straight to the point. Once a call is answered, to turn down the volume of your radio set. It's expedient that you do so. Via WhatsApp, good afternoon, Dio. I know government will term them unpatriotic, but I applaud their courage. It's about time. There's always been bias against Nigerian women in sports. Most of their games are not even mentioned, nor get airplay at all. Women in sports have really been marginalized. Feedback should do the needful. It's a shame that our government will continuously treat their citizens this way. That's when Mrs. Oni. Well, I'm not sure this is about gender, because even worse things happen to, or similar things happen to male national teams in the country as well. Chooks from Anna George, hi, you're welcome. Go ahead. All right, Chooks is gone. Good Adedayo, are you still wondering why our international athletes opt to represent other countries? No. I definitely have stopped worrying about that. I don't worry about that any longer, really. Why should anyone wonder or worry or wonder about that? And via let's see, via Facebook, Donald. I just comment isn't something else. Hello, hard fact to welcome. Hello.
Hello, Dayo. Mr. Dayo.
Hi, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. This is Gora, messenger from Element.
Go ahead.
You know how we do things in this country, so you shouldn't be surprised that this is happening.
I'm not surprised. That's the whole essence. I'm not surprised.
Because if we can borrow from pensions fund, you remember that last year, sometime last year we were borrowing from pensions fund.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what. Okay, pensioners will not pay. Okay, all right.
Yes, there is this contributory pension. This thing that is very amount that sum up to some billions, and they wanted to borrow from there. So the ministry may borrow the federal government. Maybe we are in the dispensation of borrowing, and that money came in dollars. So you like our politicians like dollar a lot. They may have borrowed from it to fund the presidential thing.
So I'm not very sure what the connections are with these instances you mentioned. It was great to hear from you, sir. I've got Ike from NTA Road. Hi, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dayo.
Hello, go ahead, please.
I just, batched in when you're talking about what's happening in our sports ministries and generally government parastatals. The issue is this. Corruption has been endemic in our system, and we all know that. Well, the question you ask is this. The permanent secretaries that are there in such government parastatals who are there, they have been there. And that they have been the people that are perpetuating this corrupt practices, day in, day out. The directors that are there, what are they doing? So at the end of the day, when the minister comes in and stuff like that, they sit them down and tell them how the show is being run. And again, that these ministers again are products of the society, whom before they are even appointed to such positions, They've made up their mind that they're going there to, do their deal. So that is just the thing. The directors and the palm sections in those government processors are the people that are perpetuating this corruption. Thank you.
You're welcome. Emmanuel from Burikuri, hi, go on.
Yeah, Dayo, good afternoon.
Go ahead.
I want to thank God for this rant you gave this afternoon. But the question I want to ask these days, what kind of leaders did we have? I have come to the knowledge of whenever anything called money is released to a particular person so that it can get down to the people that owns the money. At the end of the activity, it cannot be released. There's something I want to give you now as an example. I remember some times ago, I was just following somebody as a mentor. And a time come in previous government, and a certain money was released. Do you know that up to now, the same person did not release the money to us? But the truth about the matter now is that there is no day he does not anchor a program in your station. More especially on Saturday morning. To the extent that there is a time this present government threatened to kill him. He gathered us in a particular place and we carry blackout. But it surprises me that today, the same person that makes him gather us to demonstrate and we wasted all our own time, not ordinary mineral, he defected to the same party. Just to tell you that we don't have leader. And when you see them clamoring and coming to radio, they are misleading people. I don't know. I am tired. God bless you, sir.
So, Emmanuel, follow the right persons then. If you've been following the wrong persons all this while, and the question, we have to ask you a question also. Why have you persistently followed the wrong persons or followed wrong leaders, so to speak? Via WhatsApp, Ima Gold, repeat something I said. Nigerian leaders don't change, they evolve. Quite insightful, Ima says. Di, good evening. I start with the girls that smart from Agri Estate, also via WhatsApp. They imported players made in abroad. They use the Nigerian corrupt pattern to manage them. Nigerian government can never make use of what they have, but will use what others have made and spoil it. The way they are now spoiling the career of these ladies. Imagine these ladies only playing for Nigeria, which means they will die of hunger. Dial, these things do happen and nothing will happen. Believe me, heads will not roll. People will not be sacked. And Rosso, a panel of inquiry will be set up. Paul from Iberi Query said that. All right. Let's have got Chijoke from Ruma all on the line. Chijoke, you're welcome. Go on.
Thank you, Father. Hello, good evening, Father.
Chijoke, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, I was motivated with that audio that I just heard. And I go with them that we stand to vote out. We don't mind to vote a party that unknown party that let it be a correct person, a good candidate that a Nigeria that have Nigeria at heart, that can carry Nigerians along. I think if Nigerians can come out with this, that we stand, we will not vote APC, we will not vote PDP, but we will vote a correct candidate. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Via WhatsApp, good afternoon, Diane. It's a pity that we all find ourselves in doom. Nigeria happens to be that place of doom. Those in charge of these basketball ladies are complete thieves, including the government at all levels. They're so corrupt, and I believe God is seeing all this. One day they will begin to pay for it because they are cursed. That's from Morgan. The explanation from Sunday Dara is pitiful. What about the head of MBBF? It would be nice to hear from CBN, as they claim. CBN policy says they must all be paid at the same time. Hence, they are delaying while waiting for D-Tigers. When people are appointed for loyalty and on-grandness, we should not expect results. That's from DG. The D-Tigers would have by now defected to the APC so that their sins will be forgiven. That's from Samuel Oria Zoa. And where he killed the narco ghost. This is how they killed bright, promising dreams of innocent youths. They eat their own, and the one they are yet to give others. What a shame to our leaders. And it's unfortunate. And once again, the whole premise of today's rant in spite of my blunder with the video slash audio situation, is they don't change. They don't change. They simply evolve with the times. They gauge you. What is the mood of the people right now? Which one will serve them right now? Which one will work for them right now? But they don't change. Just look at the sports ministry the last couple of years, whether it's the current minister or the one before him or the one before that one. One of the previous ministers was the one that did not expect a national contingent to win. So what did they go there to do? And then this last team we sent to the Olympics, there was argument about which kits they will use, which kits they will not use. People, power play, people were struggling as to who is in charge, who is in control over the overall welfare and benefit of the entire country. People were engaging in a power play. You want to test me? We'll see who has power in Abuja here. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's a very sad situation, really. And like someone said via WhatsApp, no, it's unlikely that anybody will be sacked. It's unlikely. You know, some flimsy excuse there. You see, the money is in the DOM account. Nobody touched it. The money is there. The money is there. I can show you the bank statement. We are still expecting the bank statements. Like the River State Police Command has been expecting bank statements for almost a year now. I'm sure that the sports ministry, if we ask for the bank statement, the next till 2023 general elections, we'll still be expecting the bank statement from CBN. You know, this bank statement things are very complex. You know, don't just get bank statement like that. It's a very, very sad situation. But if you take nothing from today's round, please take this. And I think somebody captured it via a WhatsApp message a while ago. I need to go back to that if I can find it. Yeah, it goes, Nigerian leaders don't change, they evolve. Take that. They don't change, they evolve. And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Because of the electronic transmission of results we have right now, leaders who in the past used to beat drums of war, they are going to become true Democrats now. Yes. Yeah, they're going to be speaking very softly with solemn voices. In fact, on campaign grounds, they'll be singing Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace now. It's remarkable. But they've not changed. They simply evolved. It's 4 p.m., a break for the business news. When I return, we delve into another matter. Is Aso Rock's presidential clinic more deserving, and all the 14 teaching hospitals, federal teaching hospitals in the country combined. When I return, please stay with us.